starting lineup for your Carson-Newman Eagles. In left field from Jackson, Tennessee, a 5'6" sophomore from Jackson, Tennessee, number 15, Trinity Brooks. In center field from Alcoa, Tennessee, a 5'6" senior, number 18, Sienna Cameron. In right field from Fairmont, North Carolina, a 5'7" junior, number 11, Santana Anderson. At third base from Cross Plains, Tennessee, a 5'9" junior, number 40, Macaulay Bailey. At shortstop from Gadsden, Alabama, a 5'5" junior, number 14, Abby Martin. At second base from Knoxville, Tennessee, a 5'7" senior, number 2, Hayden Dye. At first base from Loma, Colorado, a 5'10" senior, number 99, Brooklyn Lucero. The catcher from Harrodsburg, Kentucky, a 5'5" senior, number 33, Kennedy Warder. And the starting pitcher from Greensville, Tennessee, a 5'4" senior, 00, Sierra Rogers. Carson-Newman is coached by Michael Graves, assisted by Holly Tucker-Vance and Emma Frost. Athletic trainer is Colby Reed. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time I ask that you please rise. First for our invocation given by Carson-Newman Volleyball's Blair Cherry, and then please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem.
Dear Lord, thank you so much for today and for the opportunity to play and compete. I ask that you bless both teams on the field today and that you give them the confidence and passion to play for you. I ask that you watch over all the coaches, parents, staff, officials, and players here today. We thank you for all the opportunities you give us, Lord, and for loving us unconditionally. In your name I pray. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous night o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
We welcome you back to the Vic here in Jefferson City, Tennessee, as Carson-Newman prepares for another conference challenger. It's number 23 Lincoln Memorial coming to town for a Saturday doubleheader right here on the Eagle Sports Network. Ryan Wilkes taking through all your coverage here this afternoon between the Eagles and the Rail Splitters as Carson-Newman comes in winners of its last 6, and Lincoln Memorial recently entered the NFCA Division II poll after a split with Emory and Henry. The Rail Splitters 17-6 on the year. 1-1 in conference play after that split with Emory and Henry. Carson-Newman 2-0 in conference play after sweeping Newberry to open Southland in conference play. And it'll be Sierra Rogers in the circle to face off with Anna Kate Reister to start things off this afternoon. Beautiful day here in Jefferson City as Rogers deals a first pitch home to Reister. It's off the plate for ball one. The count, a ball and no strikes. Slight breeze moving out towards dead center field. We'll see how that has an impact today on how the ball carries. We've had some windy days in Jefferson City that has resulted in a fair share of home runs as Racer awaits the 1-0. It's a strike on the inner edge, and the count evens at a ball and a strike. Racer hitting .367 so far in 2025, the top hitter in the order for Lincoln Memorial. In 20 starts, she has 22 hits and 60 at-bats as Rogers deals a 1-1. It's slapped up the middle. Martin gloves it, but she can't handle it, and it'll be an infield single for Anna Kate Reischer to start things off. Good start for Lincoln Memorial. Just a dribbler up the middle that Martin couldn't handle cleanly, and now Kristen Griffin will stand in from the 2 spot. Some speed on the base pass to start things off. That's been a strength for Lincoln Memorial, stealing 47 bases in 51 attempts this season. We'll see if Racer's put in motion with nobody out as the pitch runs inside and gets Griffin on the thigh. Now first and second on a first pitch hit by pitch. Add the hand to Sierra Rogers. And some traffic on the base pass for the Rail Splitters with no one out. Hannah Bogoski stands in for the Rail Splitters with nobody out. Racer on second, Griffin on first. And a little bit of traffic for Sierra Rogers, who's been impressive in her last couple starts. Just recently against Newberry. As the bunt is popped up back towards first, Lucero bobbles it. She can't handle it. And Bogoski will reach first. Runners move station to station. We'll see how that one's ruled as Lucero charging in, couldn't handle it. And now time is called for Kennedy Waters. He'll go out and chat with Sierra Rogers. Bases loaded, nobody out for Lincoln Memorial here in the top half of the first. It's going to be an error on Brooklyn Lucero that allows Bogoski to reach first. Griffin moves over to second, Reischer to third. As Warder concludes her chat with Sierra Rogers, a chance for a big inning here for Lincoln Memorial to start things off. As a team, the Rail Splitters just hitting .301 compared to Carson-Newman's leading .378 at the plate. But so far, Lincoln Memorial hasn't gotten the ball to the outfield, but it's been able to load the bases with no one out. For Jordan Reagan, first pitch home is a called strike, and the count is 0-1. First pitch just before 1 o'clock here at the Vic in a conference contest between two of the hotter teams in the South Atlantic Conference. The 0-1 pitch home from Rogers is well inside to Reagan. She dances out of the way, and the count evens at a ball and a strike. Carson-Newman and Lincoln Memorial will square off for 2 today. Carson-Newman heads on the road for 2 series doubleheaders tomorrow, or next week, against Wingate and Anderson. That's a 1-1 home from Rogers, popped up behind the dish. Warder gives it a look, but it goes into foul ground. The count moves a ball and 2 strikes. Busy day on the Eagle Sports Network. Tyler Katz has your call of Carson-Newman and Florida Southern. The Eagles ranked 25th. And Florida Southern holds the number 6 ranking in the country. As a 1-2 home from Rogers, low and in. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So far, it's been Florida Southern's day, leading 11-0 early in that contest. The Eagles walked it off yesterday against Florida Southern. 7-6 win for Carson-Newman in the series opener, but today, Florida Southern looking to even the tally. The 2-2 home is ripped up the middle, a base hit. Scoring easily is Reischer, rounding third. Coming home is Griffin. Going first to third is Bogoski, and it's 2-0 Lincoln Memorial. Good start for the Rail Splitters. Bogoski goes first to third. Griffin and Reischer coming to score on the 2 RBI single for Jordan Reagan. Here's Hannah McMean, runners on the corner. Still nobody out for the Eagle defense. As Rogers holds the ball in her right hand, leans, fires home the first pitch. It's upstairs for ball 1. Against Newberry on Tuesday, Carson-Newman was able to limit the damage in Game 2 in the top half of the first. As Riley Sykes came in and got 2 outs of the Wolves with the bases loaded and one away and limit the damage to 3. Rogers looking to do that here as she deals a 1-0 home. It's a called strike, and the count evens at 1-1. And two of the hotter teams in the South Atlantic Conference, Lincoln Memorial, a newcomer to the NFCA Division II poll. Starting the season 17-6, a split with one of the conference's best in Emory and Henry just a couple days ago. As Rogers toes the slab, the 1-1 home is a hair inside, and the count is 2 balls and a strike. Nicole Couvetier is on deck. Alyssa Williams in the hole as Lincoln Memorial quickly moving through in the first trip through the order. The first 4 have reached for the Rail Splitters. 2 runs on 2 hits here in the top half of the first. Rogers leans, deals home the 2-1. It's a hair low, and the count moves 3-1. LMU 1 pitch away from reloading the bases after Reagan scored 2 on her 2 RBI single. 3-1 home from Sierra Rogers is a called strike 2, and the count moves full to McMean. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out here in the top of the first. Carson-Newman in the orange uniforms. The Eagles 10-0 in those sets this year. Lincoln Memorial in the road blues with the white pinstripe pants as Rogers prepares to deal the payoff. She leans, deals home the 3-2. It's inside, ball 4. Rogers just misses the inner part of the plate. It's her first walk here this afternoon. That reloads the bases for Nicole Couvetier. Talking about the Eagle defense, it's the same look that the Eagles have put out there in this 6-game winning streak. Lucero at first, Dye at second, Martin at short, Bailey at third, and Warder behind the dish in the outfield. Brooks in left, Cameron in center, and Anderson in right. First pitch to Couvetier is a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Rogers just looking for that first out to try and reignite the Eagle defense here in the first. A big chance for Lincoln Memorial to try to open things up early. Already with 2 here in the first. 0-1 to Couvetier is up and in, and the count's a ball and a strike. So to recap, it was a Anna Kate Reister leadoff single to shortstop. Next pitch, Kristen Griffin was hit by a pitch. Hannah Bogoski reached on a fielding error. Jordan Reagan, a 2 RBI single, and then Hannah McMean walked to reload the bases. A 1-1 popped up behind the dish. Warder gives it a look, but it goes out of play. And the count is a ball and 2 strikes. Alyssa Williams is on deck. Ryan Williams in the hole for Lincoln Memorial here in the Rail Splitters half of the first inning. Rogers peeks at her wrist, gets a call behind the plate from Kennedy Warder. The 1-2. Corkscrewed back towards the circle. Rogers is going to flip it home for 1. Back to first is not in time as Couvetier will reach, but a smart play for Sierra Rogers to get the force out at home as Bogoski's retired off the base pass. Couvetier reaches first, and there's 1 down. That'll bring in Alyssa Williams with 1 away. Big for Rogers and the Eagle defense to get the first out. Still only 2 runs on the board for Lincoln Memorial, but the bases remain loaded with Alyssa Williams at the plate. She cuts and misses at the first pitch. Tipped it in the glove of Warder, and the count is 0-1. No balls and a strike. Bases loaded. Couvetier on first. McMean on second. Reagan on third with 1 away. Next pitch home to Williams. She swings and misses on the heater. Strike 2. 0-2 the count to the 7-hole hitting Alyssa Williams with the bases loaded and 1 down. As Rogers re-engages with the slab, leans, fires home the 0-2. It's just inside, and the count's a ball and 2 strikes. Didn't miss by much, just backed Williams off the plate just a little bit. And the count now a ball and 2 strikes. Big sequence here. Lincoln Memorial looking to open up this ball game in the first. Rogers looking to limit the Rail Splitters to just 2 as she gets Williams to swing and miss up high. Strike 3. 2 outs in the last 2 hitters for Rogers, and there's 2 away for Ryan Williams. Big pitch for Sierra Rogers to get Alyssa Williams to chase upstairs. And just like that, Carson-Newman's 1 out away from getting out of the inning, allowing just 2 runs. First pitch home to Ryan Williams. She watches it on the outside corner for a called strike, and the count 0-1. Carson-Newman will send its first 3 to the plate in the bottom half of the first. It'll be Sienna Cameron, Hayden Dye, and Macaulay Bailey due up for Carson-Newman. That offense has been excellent in this 6-game winning streak. Next pitch is upstairs, and the count, ball and a strike. Talk a little bit more about the Carson-Newman offense when the Eagles come to the dish. This stretch has put Carson-Newman near the top of the country in basically every offensive statistical category. As the 1-0 home from Rogers, swing and a miss. The 1-1 is swing and a miss, strike 2, and it's 1-2. Ball, 2 strikes, 2 away. Bases still loaded for Lincoln Memorial, who struck with the first 2 runs of the ball game on Jordan Reagan's 2 RBI single. The 1-2 home from Rogers is on the outside corner, a called strike 3. Sierra Rogers strands the bases loaded, and Carson-Newman will have a chance to come back in the bottom of the first with an opportunity to erase an early 2-0 deficit. We'll be right back with the bottom of the first inning. Lincoln Memorial leads 2-0 right here on the Eagles Sports Network.
When you're sick and tired of fast food and need a fresh home-cooked meal, turn to Lisa's Country Kitchen. Lisa's been cooking up her fresh, never-frozen food for the Lakeway area for more than 15 years. Lisa's cares about her customers. You may enter a stranger, but you'll leave a friend. From foot-long hot dogs to juicy steaks, Lisa's has the best food for the best prices.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Serving East Tennessee for 40 years, Magaha Electric is the perfect choice for all your electrical projects. Magaha Electric specializes in commercial, retail, manufacturing, residential, and industrial contracting needs. Magaha Electric can provide superior service, technical know-how, and realistic budgeting for any size project in a timely, cost-effective manner. Visit MagahaElectric.com for all your electrical contracting needs. Magaha Electric, your East Tennessee electrical contracting source.
Back here on the Eagles Sports Network, Sierra Rogers strands the bases loaded. Lincoln Memorial got 2. And still the bases loaded, nobody out, but 3 straight retired for Rogers, including 2 strikeouts to end the frame. Ryan Wilkes with you here on the Eagles Sports Network as Carson-Newman enters the box for the first time against Hallie Grace Patton, one of the better pitchers in the South Atlantic Conference. Her first pitch taken low for Cameron. The count, ball and no strikes. In the stretch for Carson-Newman, the Eagles have vaulted into the top of the country in multiple offensive statistical categories. The next pitch in for a called strike to Cameron, and it's 1-1. The Eagles' 5th in batting average, hitting .378 as a team as Cameron slaps the next pitch left side, and the count moves the ball in 2 strikes. 5th in batting average, hitting .378, 5th in hits with 219. 2nd in home runs. The Eagles have hit 31 so far this season. As Patton delivers a 1-2 to Cameron, she chops it high left side. Was it a fair ball? No, it was not. And tough break for Carson-Newman. That would have put Cameron on first. She was able to leg that out. Nonetheless, count remains a ball and 2 strikes as Cameron will retrieve her bat and prepare for the next 1-2. Other categories, Carson-Newman ranks highly in. On-base percentage is 4th with .453. 8th in runs scored, 186 runs. And 3rd in slugging percentage at .639. Patton delivers the next 1-2 to Cameron. It's an off-speed pitch that just misses, low and away. And the count's 2-2. Hallie Grace Patton, a 1.03 ERA. She's 12-1 in 15 appearances. She has 11 complete games and 81 1/3 innings of work. As the next 2-2 is a called strike on the outer edge. Strike 3. Cameron down looking, and there's one away for Patton in the Lincoln Memorial defense. Good pitch on the outer edge to get the dangerous Sienna Cameron looking. Here's Hayden Dye. She has had herself quite the stretch. The reigning South Atlantic Conference Player of the Week, as well as the Tennessee Sports Writing Association Player of the Week. She clubs the first pitch foul behind the plate. The count 0-1. But Dye's really picked up steam here in the last week and some change. An 11 for 14 week against Shorter and Southern Wesleyan last week, and she had 6 RBIs in the 2 games against Newberry to open sack play. The 0-1 pitch, and off speed that misses just low in the count, a ball and a strike. Really high quality matchup in the South Atlantic Conference here this afternoon as a 1-1 home to Dye is chopped foul behind the dish, and the count a ball and 2 strikes. So with Hallie Grace Patton, it's become the norm for her to toss complete games. All 12 of her wins have come in complete game efforts. As the 1-2 home is outside. And the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Macaulay Bailey awaits on deck. Santana Anderson in the hole. It's a 2-2 home to Dye. Off-speed pitch. She's a little caught up on it, but she's able to get a piece as the count remains 2-2. That pitch from Patton is really effective in getting hitters off balance. As Dye awaits the next 2-2, Patton delivers. The off-speed pitch again. Dye able to foul it off. And the count remains 2-2. Aiden Dye trying to time that pitch up. She's able to do just enough to stay alive in the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Bases empty for the Eagles here in the home half of the first. The next 2-2, Dye swings and misses upstairs. Strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts from Hallie Grace Patton to start her afternoon. And there's 2 away. 2-0 Lincoln Memorial here in the bottom of the first. 2 runs on 2 hits for LMU. Nothing doing so far for the Eagles for the first 2 hitters. As the first pitch to Bailey skips in the turf for ball 1. So against Southern Wesleyan, Macaulay Bailey became the program's all-time home run leader with her 36th of her career, hit her 37th against Newberry. As she dribbles the next pitch foul to the left side, and the count a ball and a strike. Bailey looking to prevent Carson-Newman from going down 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the first. The Rail Splitters have the momentum early in this contest. It's a 1-1 home to Bailey. She drives it deep to left, going back the track, the wall, and Macaulay Bailey has cut the deficit in half with a solo home run. 38th of her career from Macaulay Bailey, and it's her 8th of the season. It's 2-1. Big swing of the bat for Macaulay when it seemed all the momentum was going the way of LMU here early in this ball game. Macaulay Bailey flips the script just a little bit, and the Eagles are within 1 in the bottom half of the first. Santana Anderson will stand in. With that home run, Macaulay Bailey is quickly approaching the top of the country in home runs. She's 7th coming into today with 7 as Anderson lifts the first pitch down the right field line. It's a foul ball. Carson-Newman has 2 in the top 10, and the home run leaders in Division II, Mari Robbins tops the country with 9, and Macaulay Bailey with her 8th, moving up that list. As a 0-1 pitch home to Santana Anderson. She chops it foul behind the dish, and the count 0-2. Patton looking to keep the advantage with Lincoln Memorial after Macaulay Bailey chops the deficit in half with her 8th home run of the year. Mari Robbins awaits on deck. This part of the order is extremely tough. Doesn't get much easier as you continue to go down the list through the Eagle order. There's a 0-2 to Anderson. She slices it right side towards the Eagle dugout. A foul ball, and the count remains 0-2. 18 pitches in the first for Hallie Grace Patton. 2 strikeouts before Macaulay Bailey left the yard. So next 0-2 to Anderson, an off-speed pitch that misses upstairs, and the count is a ball and 2 strikes. Good response from Carson-Newman here in the first. And looking for more with 2 outs in the inning. As a 1-2 home to Santana. Misses outside, and the count evens at 2-2. Anderson, a .348 hitter so far this year in 22 starts. She started all 22 games in her first season with Carson-Newman. The next 2-2, she tips it off the glove. Jordan Reagan behind the dish, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Base is empty for the Eagles with 2 away as Patton looks home to Reagan, gets the call. The 2-2 home is up and away, ball 3. Good fight by Santana Anderson. After falling behind 0-2, she's battled her way back in the count. As Patton quickly delivers a 3-2, Anderson chops it left side to short. She's running down the first baseline, and she'll make it in time as she reaches on an infield single. It was a tough play for the shortstop, Palmer, on a slow roller up the middle, and good hustle for Santana Anderson to put the tying run aboard. Second hidden in the frame for Carson-Newman, second consecutive, as Anderson's aboard first with 2 down for Mari Robbins. Patton delivers a first pitch home to Robbins. It's a called strike on the inner edge, and the count is 0-1. The first 2 Eagles retired via the strikeout, the Macaulay Bailey solo home run, Santana Anderson single. Carson-Newman's in business as the ball gets past the catcher Reagan. Anderson trots to second, and she's in scoring position with 2 down. Ball and a strike to count now to Mari Robbins, who has really come on with a vengeance here in her senior year. 9 home runs, 18 RBIs for the senior out of Sweetwater, Tennessee. Patton gets a call from Reagan, leans, deals the 1-1 to Robbins. It's on the inside corner for a called strike, and it's 1-2. Anderson in scoring position. The Eagles looking to match Lincoln Memorial's total in the first. Robbins in a 1-2 count with Patton. Awaits the 1-2. The pitch home. Inside corner, called strike 3. 3 strikeouts in the first for Patton. She strands a tying run in scoring position, but Carson-Newman gets one on Macaulay Bailey's 8th home run of her 2025 season. We had the second 2-1 Lincoln Memorial after 1 here on the Eagles Sports Network.
Domino's Pizza in Jefferson City has deals for Carson-Newman students. Bring in your valid student ID when you order for pickup or delivery, and Domino's in Jefferson City will give you a steaming hot large one-topping pizza for $4.99. That's a large one-topping pizza for Carson-Newman students for $4.99 at Domino's in Jeff City. Call 865-471-6700 to order. That's 865-471-6700. Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles.
Okay, let's see. I'm ready to do this. Carson-Newman. It's been around since 1851. Lots of flexible online programs. Wow. World-class accredited academics. A faith and learning environment with professors who really care about me. A top 10 best value school. Carson-Newman gives $48 million a year in financial aid. This is the perfect place. I'm in.
Back on the Eagles Sports Network, Carson-Newman back within 1 after Macaulay Bailey's 8th blast of the season. A solo shot that brings the Eagles and the Rail Splitters in a 1-run game after the first. Sierra Rogers back in the circle for Carson-Newman. She faced a little trouble there in the first, but she was able to recuperate and strand the bases loaded. She got a fielder's choice ground out back to the circle and then retired the next 2 via the strikeout. Round out the first trip through the Lincoln Memorial order with Gracie Palmer at the plate. She takes a first pitch downstairs for ball 1. Ball and no strikes, the 9-hole hitting Palmer. Anna Kate Reister, who led the game off with an infield single, awaits on deck. The 1-0 home misses the bottom of the zone. The count is 2 balls and no strikes. 2-1 Lincoln Memorial after 1 full inning of work for each side. It was Jordan Reagan accounting for both runs for Lincoln Memorial, 2 RBI single in the first. Certainly a change for more for LMU, just couldn't get it as a 2-0 home from Rogers. Called strike on the inside corner, and the count moves 2-1. Rogers, who dealt 5 innings in the sack opener against Newberry. A little bit of trouble here early, but she's responded well as a 2-1 is across the heart of the plate, and the count moves 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Gracie Palmer, hitting .280 on the season through 20 starts. As a right-handed Rogers toes the slab, leans, fires home the 2-2. It's lifted to center. Cameron going back on her horse to the track, the wall, and it's gone. Gracie Palmer's first home run of the season and an immediate answer for Lincoln Memorial. It's 3-1. Palmer in the 9-hole responds to Macaulay Bailey's solo home run, and Lincoln Memorial's lead is back to what it was in the top of the first. I'll send us back to the top for Anna Kate Reister, 1-for-1 with that infield single.
Now batting, center fielder number 2, Anna Kate Reisher.
Bases empty, nobody out after the solo home run for Gracie Palmer. As Rogers gets the call from Warder, leans, fires the first pitch. It's up and away. And the count's a ball and no strikes. Carson-Newman and Lincoln Memorial have 35 times, make it the 36th today. Carson-Newman leads the all-time series 19-16, but it's been predominantly controlled by Lincoln Memorial lately as the 1-0 catches the outside corner, and the count is 1-1. Carson-Newman split last year with LMU on the road in Harrogate. It's an 8-1 victory in Game 1 and Game 2. LMU came out on top 6-5. The 1-1 home to Reister is downstairs. And the count's 2 balls and a strike. Carson-Newman, up until last year, had its struggles against Lincoln Memorial. As a 2-1 home is popped foul the left side, and the count 2-2. In the last 4, each team has won twice, but prior to that, Lincoln Memorial had won the previous 9 matchups dating back to 2018, a stretch that went from 2018 to 2022. Carson-Newman got back in the win column against the Rail Splitters on the road in 2023 as a 2-2 home to Reister misses up and away, and the count moves full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, no one out with the bases empty for Anna Kate Reister, who's looking to get aboard for the second time in as many at-bats here in this ballgame. The 3-2 home from Sierra Rogers. Check swing, bunt, foul to the left side. And the count remains full. Kristen Griffin, who only saw 1 pitch in her first at-bat, stands on deck. She was plunked by an inside fastball in the hand of Rogers in the first. Both her and Reister came around to score for Lincoln Memorial in the top of the first. The next payoff home from Rogers. Chopped foul, gets a piece of the home plate umpire as the count remains full. Three runs on 3 hits for Lincoln Memorial, the most recent a solo home run by Gracie Palmer to lead off the top of the second. As Rogers takes a long look to the Carson-Newman dugout. Lefty Reister stands back in, awaits another 3-2 from Sierra Rogers. The next payoff home is low and outside. Ball 4. Productive at bat for Anna Kate Reister. And she's aboard for the second time, this time on a walk. Here's Kristen Griffin hitting .274 in the year. Yes, 17 hits and 62 tries. As Rogers leans, deals the first pitch. Griffin squares the bump, pulls back on a pitch that's up and in. The count, ball and no strikes. It's been a good start for Lincoln Memorial despite Carson-Newman getting 1. In the bottom of the first, Hallie Grace Patton was able to strand Santana Anderson in scoring position to get her offense back to the plate. And so far, so good with the first 2 reaching. Kristen Griffin takes the next pitch on the inside corner. Now a check back to first. Dye was covering as Lucero charged in, with Griffin squaring a bunt, no play at first, as Reister's back in time. Ball and a strike, runner on first with nobody out. In the first, Rogers, after she got that first out, she cruised to retire the next 2 via the strikeout. We'll see if this inning plays out in a similar fashion. The 1-1 to Griffin. Her bunt attempt not able to get a bat on the ball as the count moves 1-2. Rogers up to 43 pitches through an inning full of work, looking for the first out here in the second. The 1-2 home from Sierra Rogers is low, and the count evens at 2-2. Rogers has been stellar of late. Hit a home run against Newberry. Pitched her 4th complete game of the season. Really a solid all-around performance for the senior out of Graysville, Tennessee. She'll come to the plate coming up for Carson-Newman in the home half of the second. As a 2-2 home to Griffin is chopped back to the circle. Rogers gives to second for 1. Back to first. Throws high. Wouldn't have got Griffin anyway. As she heads back to first. Nonetheless, Reischer out at second, and Griffin replaces her at first. There's one down. One away for Sierra Rogers. She was able to retire the next 2 after she got that first out in the first. As Hannah Bogoski stands in, she reached on an error at first on a slow roller. She'll square to bunt, pulls back. Griffin takes off, throw down to second is not in time to get Kristen Griffin, and Lincoln Memorial nabs its 48th base of the season. Talked about that earlier. It's certainly a strength for Lincoln Memorial. Now 48 out of 52 tries, Lincoln Memorial has nabbed a bag. This count moves nothing and 1 on Bogoski. Griffin in scoring position. That's nothing and 1 on Bogoski. Is inside. Count evens at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away. Rogers looking to keep it a 2-run game. Griffin in scoring position for the visitors from Harrogate. As Rogers leans, fires the 1-1 home. Paints the inside corner, and the count's 1-2. Eagles and the Rail Splitters meeting up for the 3rd time in about 5 days, as Carson-Newman women's basketball took down Lincoln Memorial in the South Atlantic Conference Tournament to avenge 2 regular season losses and an instant classic on the men's side between Carson-Newman and Lincoln Memorial and Rock Hill. As the next pitch chopped back to the circle, Rogers fields, throws to first well in time for the second out. Griffin moves over to third on the fielder's on the ground out by Bogoski. As Jordan Reagan, who produced the first 2 runs of the ballgame for Lincoln Memorial, will stand back in with another runner in scoring position. 2 away for Rogers. Looking to limit the damage to just 1 on the solo home run from Gracie Palmer to lead off the second. The 1-2. The first pitch to Reagan is downstairs for ball 1. With Griffin on third, 2 away for the Eagle defense. 3-1 Lincoln Memorial leads here in the second. Rogers leans, fires the 1-0. Pitch up high. Did she go around? They're going to check down the first baseline. She did, and the count evens at 1-1. Hannah McMean is on deck. She walked in her first plate appearance. Nicole Couvetier in the hole. She was the first out recorded for this Carson-Newman defense in the top of the first. 1-1 home from Rogers is fouled back, and the count is 1-2. Rogers looking again to keep it a 2-run game. Really tight-roped out of that first inning. Lincoln Memorial had bases loaded, nobody out. She got a force out at home, then back-to-back strikeouts to end that threat. Going to strain another runner in scoring position. The 1-2 to Reagan. She pops it high in the sky. Lucero on the left side of the Carson-Newman dugout will make the play for out number 3. Sierra Rogers strains another runner in scoring position, but Lincoln Memorial does get 1 on the Gracie Palmer solo home run. It's 3-1 after 1.5. We'll be back with the bottom of the second as the Eagles look to respond yet again right here on the Eagles Sports Network.
This is Carson-Newman men's basketball alum Taylor Hawkins. I want to help your family secure its financial future. I'm with Modern Woodman Financial Planning, where we touch lives and secure futures. Let Modern Woodman protect your family's financial security through life insurance, retirement planning, and financial services. You can contact me, Taylor Hawkins, at cneagles.com/Modern Woodman. That's cneagles.com/Modern Woodman. Help secure your family's financial future through Modern Woodman Financial Planning.
The #1 source for Carson-Newman athletics gear, shop cneagles.com, where you can find gear from Adidas, Columbia, Nike, and Under Armour. Shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, shorts, pants, hats, and scarves. Shop cneagles.com is your source for everything CN. You can even show your school spirit on your smartphone or tablet. All of your game day essentials can be found in one place. Shop SeeingEagles.com.
Back here on the Eagles Sports Network, Carson-Newman's deficit is back to 2 as Gracie Palmer lifts one out of the yard to center for the first time here in 2025. And the Eagles again look for an answer. We're able to cut the deficit to 1 on Macaulay Bailey's 8th home run of the season. Lincoln Memorial has had an answer through the first inning and a half. Ryan Wilkes with you here on the Eagles Sports Network as Brooklyn Lucero will lead off Carson-Newman's half of the second. Patton deals a first pitch downstairs for ball 1 to Brooklyn, and the count, ball and no strikes. All 3 outs for Patton. The first were strikeouts as she deals next pitch home to Lucero. Downstairs, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes to the Eagles. Brooklyn Lucero with Sierra Rogers on deck as she takes a strike on the inside corner. The count moves 2-1. Rogers has been excellent at the plate as of late as she awaits on deck. 2-1 home to Lucero. Misses outside, ball 3. Allie Grace Patton has really been great all around this season. 61 strikeouts, just 15 walks. She deals a 3-1 to Brooklyn Lucero. Grounded left side to third. Easy scoop and throw for Nicole Couvatier, and that's out number 1. McMean at third makes the play, and there's 1 away. A hard hit ball by Lucero, but right to McMean at third. And now Sierra Rogers will stand in with 1 away. Rogers stands in from the right side. She pops a first pitch high right side. Alyssa Williams underneath it. She'll make the play for out number 2. Back-to-back pitches have resulted in outs for Patton in the circle. And quickly 2 away for the Eagles. Eagles got the only run of the game with 2 outs in the first on Macaulay Bailey's solo home run. Martin looks to generate a 2-out rally. She pokes the first pitch up the middle for a base hit. Good start to generating something here in the second as Martin pokes the pitch up the middle. And we'll bring in the lefty slapper, Trinity Brooks. Martin stands on first with 2 away. Some speed on the base pass for Carson-Newman. With 2 down. First pitch downstairs and outside to Brooks, and the count, ball and no strikes. Eagles have been good stealing bases this season, but Lincoln Memorial has been excellent with 48 stolen bases and 52 attempts. As the next pitch is fouled off the glove of Reagan, and the count, ball and a strike. Top of the order awaits on deck with Sienna Cameron and Hayden Dye awaiting. Cameron and Dye both struck out in their first times to the plate. The 1-1 home to Brooks. She watches it off the plate and outside, and the count, 2 balls and a strike. Certainly a weapon for head coach Michael Graves to have the speed at the bottom of his order. Both Martin and Brooks have some wheels. With Martin standing on first, a 2-1 pitch home to Brooks is downstairs and outside, ball 3. Second 3-1 count of the inning for Carson-Newman. The first one resulted in a Brooklyn Lucero ground out to the left side. As Patton looks to end the inning without allowing Carson-Newman to cut into this deficit. Brooks slaps the next pitch back to the circle. Patton scoops, throws to first, not in time. Trinity Brooks legs out an infield single, and it's first and second for Carson-Newman with 2 down, and Sienna Cameron set to step up. Great hustle by Trinity Brooks. Just talked about that speed at the bottom of the order, and it comes to fruition for Carson-Newman. 4th hit for the Eagles as Cameron stands in with a 2-out RBI opportunity. First pitch home to Cameron is on the outside corner for a called strike. Sienna Cameron, the South Atlantic Conference leader in batting average coming into today, hitting .513, hitting .506 now to the strikeout. Time's called behind the dish. As a home plate umpire called it. Nothing in 1 the count to Carson-Newman. Sienna Cameron looking to provide some run support here in the second. She slaps the next pitch to third. Gloved by McMean on the backhand, and she takes it to herself at third. What a play by McMean on a hard hit ball by Sienna Cameron. And that's the third out. Eagles got first and second with 2 away, but nothing coming of it. We head to the third. It's 3-1 Lincoln Memorial right here on the Eagles Sports Network.
Tri-Light is proud to support Carson-Newman Athletics. We salute the student athletes who are working hard to make great things happen on the field, in the classroom, and in the world. It takes vision, commitment, and teamwork, qualities we share at Tri-Light. Our mission is to provide life-changing opportunities by building a world-class fiber broadband network. If you'd like to learn more, please visit trilight.net or call us at 833-847-0824.
We select our insurance companies the same way you do, very carefully. When you work with us, you can count on receiving fast, courteous, and professional service and quality protection through Auto Owners Insurance. For a no-problem approach for your life, home, car, and business insurance needs, ask us about the No Problem Company, Auto Owners Insurance. Call Bible Insurance Agency at 423-586-4320 or go by 1600 East Andrew Johnson Highway in Morristown, serving the Lakeway area's insurance needs since 1931.
Back for the top of the third, Carson-Newman trails Lincoln Memorial 3-1 here on the Eagles Sports Network. Eagles have had some success in the hit column, 4 hits compared to Lincoln Memorial's 3. The Rail Splitters have been able to take the lead early thanks to 2 runs in the top of the first, 1 on Gracie Palmer, solo home run in the second. Now looking to extend this lead here in the third. One thing Lincoln Memorial hasn't done is really capitalized on its opportunities to blow this game open. 4 runners left on base, 3 of them came in the first, where LMU stranded the bases loaded, as it'll be Hannah McMean who made the play to end the inning at third, standing in. She takes the first pitch downstairs for ball 1. 2 really nice plays from McMean in Carson-Newman's half of the second. One saved 1, maybe 2 runs off the bat of Sienna Cameron. Hard hit ball to the left side as a 1-0 home to her. It's off the glove of Warder, and it's inside for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes to count to McMean with Nicole Cuvatira waiting on deck. Alyssa Williams in the hole for Lincoln Memorial. 55 pitches for Sierra Rogers through 2 innings. She's allowed 3 hits, 3 earned runs. She's walked 2 and struck out 2 as well. She deals the 2-0 home. It catches the top of the zone for a called strike, and the count's 2-1. McMean, a .333 hitter on the season, 18 hits and 54 tries. As Rogers leans, steals the 2-1, swing and a miss. Strike 2. Rogers looking for punch out number 3. The first time in this ballgame, Carson-Newman is able to retire the leadoff hitter. And if she's able to get McMean here to lead off the third, single, Reister. The opening at bat of the ball game as the next pitch misses just inside, and the count moves full. Reister led the game off with a home run in the second, or an infield single. Palmer led off the second with a solo home run. So Carson-Newman looking to set down the leadoff hitter in the inning for the first time here in the third. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Rogers leans, fires. It's popped up to the right side. Lucero over her shoulder makes a grab and foul ground for out number 1. Good reaction by Lucero to come off where she was off the first base bag and make the play in foul ground. There's 1 down for Nicole Cuvatira. Cuvatira hitting .282 on the season. Again, Lincoln Memorial's offense is not really what stands out, just hitting .301 as a team, but the pitching has been excellent. The first pitch is high for ball 1. Rogers re-engages with the slab, ready to steal the 1-0 pitch. So catches the inside corner, and the count evens at 1-1. Lincoln Memorial coming into today has won 6 of its last 7. The lone loss coming to Emory and Henry in the doubleheader split. 3 of the 6 wins, Lincoln Memorial has limited opponents to 1 run or shut them out. As again, that's been the strength for LMU en route to earning that number 23 ranking as the next pitch is slapped right side off the bat of Cuvatier. Gets off the glove of Lucero into the right field corner, and Cuvatier races to second for a one-out double. A hard hit ball. Lucero got a piece of it with her glove, but it trickles all the way down to right field. Good job by Anderson to retrieve and get it in. Nonetheless, Cuvatier reaches second for Alyssa Williams. Williams 0 for 1 with a strikeout in her first time at the plate. As Rogers leans, fires home the first pitch. It's fouled off. Count 0-1. So Carson-Newman and LMU will play 2 today, and then arguably the toughest stretch of the season for Carson-Newman coming up. 3 series, 2 on the road against Wingate and Anderson, 2 teams picked atop the South Atlantic Conference. Hasn't necessarily been the start for either side that they were looking for. As a 0-1 pitch home is fouled off, and the count 0-2. Then Carson-Newman returns home to welcome an in-state rival, Tusculum. And the Pioneers, through 24 games, have lost just 1. The Pioneers 23-1 to start 2025. So a tough stretch coming up for Carson-Newman. It starts today with Lincoln Memorial, and it goes through March 18th against Tusculum. As the next pitch downstairs, count moves, a ball and 2 strikes on Alyssa Williams. Runner on second, and Nicole Cuvatier, who doubled to get into scoring position with 1 down. As Rogers toes the slab, looks home to Kennedy Warder. Leans, deals the 1-2. It's popped up behind the dish and out of play. 2 in the first, 1 in the second for LMU, who is looking to open this game up a little bit. It took a 2-0 lead in the first, but stranded the bases loaded, stranded another runner on third in the second. So for head coach Richie Richardson, there's more to be desired in this ballgame, but you played well enough to have the lead. As a 1-2 misses just off the plate, and the count is 2-2. Ryan Williams awaits Gracie Palmer in the hole, who hit that solo home run to push the lead back to 2 in the second. Rogers deals the 2-2 home. It's chopped over the head of Bailey for a base hit. Cuvatier pulls up at third, and Williams is aboard with her first hit of the day. Nothing for Lincoln Memorial outside of the solo home run for Gracie Palmer has been extremely hard hit. They've just found pieces of turf open to reach on the 4th hit of the afternoon for Lincoln Memorial. Now runners on the corners with 1 away for Ryan Williams. Fifth hit of the day, for Lincoln Memorial, hitting well above that season average of 301. Smaller sample size, obviously, but 5 for 12 is LMU at the plate. First pitch home to Williams is a call and strike, and the count is 0-1. But to that point, Lincoln Memorial with runners in scoring position has been significantly worse, just 2 of 7 with runners in scoring position. As count 0-1 to Williams. Runners on the corners with 1 away, the 0-1 downstairs. Count evens at a ball and a strike. Beautiful day here at the Vic. Mid-50s, wind blowing out to dead center field. Decent crowd up on the hill to check out the South Atlantic Conference contest between 2 in-state foes separated by just about an hour. The 1-1 is fouled off. The count is 1-2. Again, it's been a series that Carson-Newman leads all the time, but hasn't controlled lately since 2018. Again, in the last 4, it's been 2-2, but Lincoln Memorial won 9 straight prior to the 2-2 stretch. The 1-2 to Williams. Misses low and outside. The count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Carson-Newman's win in Harrogate last year. The 8-1 win was Eagles' first time winning at LMU since 2018 as Williams swings and misses. Strike 3. Big strikeout for Rogers. Second time Williams is down on strikes, and there's 2 down. Again, Rogers has been able to bend but not break in this contest, keeping the Eagles well within striking distance. As Palmer, who homered in her last at-bat, stands in with 2 down. Shows bunt. Rogers deals. She pulls back on a pitch that's inside for ball 1. Lincoln Memorial now 2 of 8 with runners in scoring position. As Rogers looks for a big out, number 3, to keep it a 2-run game. She leans, deals home the 1-0. It's looped into right. Anderson giving chase, and she makes a play on the run for out number 3. A goose egg in the third for Sierra Rogers, the first time the Rail Splitters have gone down scoreless. It's 3-1 Lincoln Memorial after 2.5 right here on the Eagle Sports Network.
Don't know what to wear on game day? Head over to shopseeandeagles.com for all of your Carson-Newman athletics gear. You can find clothing from Adidas, Columbia, Nike, and Under Armour to cover you from head to toe. ShopSeeAndEagles.com also has duffel bags, backpacks, jewelry, pet supplies, and gifts. Don't waste any more time. Prove you are the ultimate Carson-Newman fan with the official gear of the Eagles at ShopSeeAndEagles.com. Visit today.
Dorm food got you down? Need a home-cooked meal? Then Lisa's Country Kitchen is for you. Lisa's Country Kitchen has been feeding Carson-Newman students for 15 years. Lisa's has a family-friendly atmosphere all day long, from the morning with her $2.99 breakfast specials to dinner with Lisa's fresh, never-frozen steaks. Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Back here on the Eagle Sports Network, nice work by Sierra Rogers, stranding 2 more runners on base. It's now 6 for LMU that's been left on the table as Hayden Dye takes the first pitch downstairs for ball 1. So despite Lincoln Memorial outing Carson-Newman 5-4 and having runners on the corners with 2 away, the Eagles have been able to keep it a 2-run contest as Dye takes the next pitch downstairs. Count 2 balls and no strikes to lead off the home half of the third. Dye rips the next pitch into left, and it drops off the diving stab from Griffin. And Hayden Dye rips a leadoff single to bring the tying run to the plate. It was a sinking line drive off the bat of Hayden Dye. As now the field umpire is going to chat with Hallie Grace Patton. Might be about how efficiently she's working in the circle. Just giving time for Carson-Newman to get set up in the box. Hallie Grace Patton has been ready to go pretty quickly. As Macaulay Bailey will stand in. She's homered twice in this game. She does it again. The Eagles will tie up the ball game for the first time today. With Dye on first, nobody out. Eagles looking for a big answer here in the third. First pitch home to Macaulay is downstairs for ball 1. And the count of ball and no strikes. The righty leans, deals the 1-0. Bailey takes downstairs, ball 2. Santana Anderson awaits. She has one of Carson-Newman's 5 hits. It was a 2-out single in the first inning. Next pitch to Bailey, misses outside, ball 3. Talked a lot to head coach Michael Graves and Macaulay Bailey about her increased discipline at the plate. She's walked 10 times this season. And she's in a hitter's count here with nobody out. The 3-0, green light, she fouls it off to the right side. And the count is 3-1. Hallie Grace Patton, a transfer from Trevecca Nazarene in her first season with Lincoln Memorial. And she's been phenomenal. And she readies to deal the 3-1 to Bailey. She fires home, it's fouled back. And the count is 3-2. I think a lot of the credit to Hallie Grace Patton's success goes to the change in speeds that she can offer. As she tried to pump a fastball by the bat of Bailey there in the 3-1 count. She worked her way back in this count, 3-2. As she dips and fires. Bailey clubs it left side to third, to second for 1. Back to first is not in time to get Macaulay Bailey. As she replaces Hayden Dye at first, and there's 1 down. Looked like McMean was playing pretty deep as Michael Graves is going to go chat with the field umpire here. Not sure what it's about. Nonetheless, there's 1 down. As Bailey reaches first. Santana Anderson will step in. The tying run still at the plate. As we see now a couple stoppages for discussion here in this third inning. While we have a second, let's check in on Carson-Newman baseball at the Silver Diamond Baseball Complex. Last we checked, it was 13-4 in the fourth. As now there will be a discussion between all three umpires. Check in on Carson-Newman baseball. We'll talk some South Atlantic Conference softball as conference play continues to get rolling. Looking at Carson-Newman baseball, it's 13-4 in the bottom half of the fifth. Florida Southern jumped out to a 11-0 advantage. The Eagles struck with fourth. Actually, it was 13-0 after 3.5. Eagles got back within 9 on a 4-run third. Stayed right there for the last couple innings. Couple of scoreless frames for both sides. We're back ready for play after a lengthy discussion between the umpires. Runner on first and Macaulay Bailey, and one down for Santana Anderson. The pitch home. Anderson ropes it up the middle, knocked down by the shortstop. Throw to second for one, back to first. Is not in time to get Anderson, but Palmer able to knock it down. Is now Anderson trying to get back to first. The ball goes in the outfield, but not far enough to advance Santana Anderson. Great play by Gracie Palmer in the middle infield to knock down a rocket off the bat of Santana Anderson and get the out at second. There's two down for Maury Robbins. First pitch home to Maury is chopped foul the left side. The count is 0-1. It's been quite a return to action for Maury Robbins after missing 2024 with injury. She hit 2 home runs in 2023. She's hit 9 here in 2025. The 0-1 to Maury Robbins is downstairs. Good block behind the plate from Reagan to keep Anderson at first. And the count is ball and a strike. So conference play got going on March 1st, and another busy afternoon in South Atlantic Conference play here this afternoon as Robbins lifts the next pitch to shallow right. And the play is made for out number 3. So the Eagles get a leadoff single from Hayden Dye, but nothing doing in the third as both teams go down scoreless. We head to the fourth. It's 3-1 Lincoln Memorial right here on the Eagle Sports Network.
Sure, we've been around a while, 171 years to be exact. We know the power of a liberal arts-based Christian education and the tremendous potential of what can be found on this campus, within this community. We are adventurers, dreamers, believers, passionate and compassionate, curious and clever, driven by a common purpose towards a common goal.
I found my passion.
I found purpose.
We are Carson-Newman.
What will you find?
Domino's Pizza in Jefferson City and Morristown wants to help feed your business. When you're hungry at lunch, show your business card at Domino's in Jefferson City and Morristown when you make your purchase for pickup or delivery to get 25% off the entire order. That's 25% off your order at Domino's in Jeff City and Morristown when you show your business card. Call 865-471-6700 to get a pizza. Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles.
Back here on the Eagles Sports Network, Carson-Newman and Lincoln Memorial battling it out. The second sack doubleheader for the Eagles. So far, it's been Lincoln Memorial to control through 3. 3-1 after 3 full. Teams tied in the hit column, 5 apiece for each side, but it's been Lincoln Memorial who jumped out to an early 2-0 lead, who has held the lead through the first third, or the first 3 innings of this ballgame. Anna Kate Reister back to the plate. For Lincoln Memorial, she's reached twice. She's singled and walked in her first 2 times at the plate. First pitch home, Rogers to Reister is upstairs for ball 1. Checking in on the South Atlantic Conference, Wingate handled Emory and Henry in 6 innings, 8-0. Newberry leads Morris Hill in the top of the 4th. 3-1. Tusculum in the bottom of the 4th is blanking Anderson 5-0 as the 1-0 to Reister misses off the plate for ball 2. Obviously here in Jefferson City, 3-1 Lincoln Memorial over Carson-Newman. Catawba and Lenore Ryan just underway. No score there in the top of the first. Emory and Henry and Wingate set to play another here in a little while as the 2-0 is bunted left side. Bailey scoops, tries to get it to the covering Dye, but the throw is offline. Reister races to second, It's going to be a bunt single and an error on the throw from Macaulay Bailey. So Reister aboard second to lead off the top of the fourth. That's now 3 of the 4 innings played so far that Lincoln Memorial has had its leadoff hitter reach, with Kristen Griffin standing in. A runner on second and nobody out. First pitch home from Rogers. Griffin squares to bunt. She pokes one left side to Bailey at third. The throw to first this time is in time for the first out, but a productive out number 1 off the bat of Griffin as Reister races to third. And another runner in scoring position for Lincoln Memorial and just 1 out. That's been a storyline so far for the Rail Splitters, not able to extend this lead, mostly due to the fact that LMU has stranded 6 so far in this contest. First pitch home to Bogoski is found to the glove of Warder for strike 1. Carson-Newman's left a handful of runners on as well, 4 in this contest. But the thing that stands out is that first inning where Lincoln Memorial had the bases loaded, nobody out. This next pitch is, again, found to the glove of Warder, strike 2. And again, 6 of 15 for LMU, but just 2 of 9 with runners in scoring position. Carson-Newman's only had 2 opportunities with runners in scoring position and has yet to record a hit. It's a 0-2 to Bogoski. Misses low. And the count is 1-2. Jordan Reagan, who has 2 RBIs on the day, the first 2 runs of the afternoon for LMU, stands on deck. Rogers dips, fires the 1-2 home. It's a called strike 3. 4th strikeout for Sierra Rogers, and there's 2 away. That'll bring Jordan Reagan in with 2 down as LMU again struggling with runners in scoring position. Now 2 of 10. Rogers toes the slab, twirls the ball in her right hand, leans and fires home. A swing and a miss for Reagan, and the count is 0-1. Rogers looking for her 2nd consecutive scoreless inning. It's a leadoff bunt single for Anna Kate Reister. She moved to second on a throwing error. That's a 0-1 pitch is downstairs. Count evens at 1-1. It was a sac bunt that moved her to third. But the sac bunt and the strikeout gives Rogers 2 outs. Here in the top of the 4th, 3-1 ball game, but Rogers again a chance to keep it where it is. As she deals a 1-1 to Reagan, it's just high. The count's 2-1. Hannah McMean on deck, 0 for 1 with a walk and a foul out to the first base side. As Rogers re-engages with the slab, leans, deals a 2-1 home. Reagan takes inside and off the plate, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike to Jordan Reagan with McMean awaiting on deck. Couvatier in the hole for LMU. As Rogers peeks at her wrist. Reddies fires home the 3-1. Swing and a miss up high, strike 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. A runner on third, an insurance run for Lincoln Memorial, and Anna Kate Reister standing on third base. The payoff home from Rogers is dribble left side of third. Bailey scoops, throw to first in time for out number 3. Another runner stranded in scoring position by Sierra Rogers. And the score remains 3-1 Lincoln Memorial after 3.5. We'll be back with the Eagles half of the 4th right here on the Eagles Sports Network.
There's something about a small community that unites us, whether it's cheering on our favorite team or the way we come together in a crisis. Small communities are made up of people with big hearts. We're dedicated to hard work and innovation through sunny days and stormy nights. AEC is always here, powering the people and the places that make our community a spectacular place to call home. AEC, power what matters most.
Insurance, it's about people, not things. It's about security. It's about confidence. It's about relationships. It's about trust. It's about you. As a local independent agent, Bible Insurance Agency can design an insurance program that's just right for you and your family. Give the people you love safe, sound, secure protection from Auto Owners Insurance. Call Bible Insurance Agency 423-586-4320 or go by 1600 East Andrew Johnson Highway in Morristown.
Back on the Eagle Sports Network for Carson-Newman's half of the fourth. Back-to-back scoreless frames for Sierra Rogers, but the Eagles have been held scoreless by Hallie Grace Patton, only one in the first, as Lucero takes downstairs for ball one. Lucero, Rogers, and Martin set to come up for Carson-Newman in the home half of the fourth. The 1-0 to Brooklyn is grounded left side and through, a base hit. Back-to-back innings where Carson-Newman has had the leadoff hitter reach, as Lucero's aboard with her first hit of the day. Some momentum starting to swing the way of the Eagles here in the middle parts of this ball game. That's Rogers, who's kept Carson-Newman within striking distance, will step in from the right side. First pitch to her is clubbed foul. And the count is 0-1. Again, Lincoln Memorial's been able to get on base, but it's now 7 runners stranded for Lincoln Memorial. As a 0-1 pitch skips in the turf, and the count evens at 1-1. Tying runs aboard for Carson-Newman. Let's see if the Eagles are finally able to break through against Hallie Grace Patton, who's allowed just 1 run through 3 full innings of work. She deals the next pitch at the top of the zone for a called strike, and the count 1-2. Rogers didn't like that one, neither did Michael Graves down the third baseline. As righty stands back in. The 1-2 from Patton. Downstairs. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. We'll play another one shortly after the conclusion of this one. It's been a competitive matchup so far between 2 in-state rivals. A 2-2 skips in the turf again. Reagan able to block it up to hold Lucero at first. And the count moves full. Eagles looking to string something together. The 6 hits have been pretty separated in this contest. The payoff misses upstairs. Ball 4. Back-to-back hitters reach for Carson-Newman, and it's first and second with no one out. It's going to be the Eagles' third opportunity with runners in scoring position. Again, Hallie Grace Patton has allowed 6 hits, but they've been staggered. It hasn't allowed Carson-Newman to really string anything together in this ballgame, as the first pitch to Martin is off the plate for ball 1. The Eagles have the tying run aboard, and Sierra Rogers, Brooklyn Lucero can make it a 3-2 contest, as Michael Graves is seemingly going to signal for a pinch runner here with Lucero on second. As she's going to come off the bag. We'll see who it is coming out for Carson-Newman to provide a little bit more speed. It looks like it's going to be Katie Mathena. She'll actually pinch run for Sierra Rogers. Actually, now they're going to change it. It'll be Brooklyn Lucero to come off the base paths, as Mathena pinch runs for Lucero. And a 1 ball and no strike count to Abby Martin. Patton leans, fires home to Martin. It's inside, ball 2. Patton struggling to find the zone a little bit here in the fourth. She's up to 63 pitches on her afternoon, which has been a pretty efficient performance for the righty. The 2-0, Martin squares the bunt, pokes it foul, as Reagan heads up play going to third to try and get Mathena, but it's a foul ball. And the first strike on Abby Martin. And the count's 2 balls and a strike. Again, the Eagles have had a lot of success in this orange set of uniforms. The orange uniforms with the white pinstripes, corresponding pattern on the pants. As a 2-1 to Martin, she squares the bunt again, pokes it foul. And the count moves 2-2. Patton's pumped that fastball past the bat of Martin, not able to get a piece of it and lay it down, trying to move Mathena over, as well as get Rogers a tying run into scoring position. The 2-2. Martin takes inside, ball 3. Full count to Abby Martin. A big part in this ball game where Carson-Newman is looking to either load the bases or cash in a pair of runs. With nobody out in the fourth, the payoff home is upstairs, ball 4. Back-to-back walks load the bases, and Carson-Newman has a tying run in scoring position. Looks like Michael Graves is going to signal for a pinch hitter. We've seen Addie Saunders come in a spot like this before. She had a bases clearing 3 RBI double. It's going to be Winter Morris who's going to come in a pinch hit. Morris with a grand slam in 2025. It was against Concord in the opening weekend of the season. She's going to come in and pinch hit for Trinity Brooks. Morris has one of 2 grand slams for Carson-Newman. The other one was from Sierra Rogers in the first game of the doubleheader sweep over Newberry. And now Morris, a massive opportunity with the tying run in scoring position. Still nobody out here in the fourth. The top of the order awaits on deck. Patton leans, fires home to Morris. She fouls it off to the right side. And the count 0-1. Carson-Newman's first real window of opportunity in this ball game. It's the third time the Eagles, second time Carson-Newman's had runners in scoring position. The 0-1 pitch. Morris watches it on the inside corner for a called strike 2. Carson-Newman's only run in this contest came on Macaulay Bailey's solo home run in the first. It's a 0-2 to Morris. Misses down low. Did she go around? No, she didn't. The count moves 1-2. Good job by Morris to hold up and not chase the ball downstairs. Not a bad pitch by Patton, up 0-2 in the count. She leans, deals a 1-2 to Morris. It's upstairs and away. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The righty dips the 2-2 to Morris. Off-speed pitch, club left side. Backhanded by Palmer. She goes to third, not in time. And Morris reaches first. It's 3-2. She got just enough. Tough play for Palmer. Couldn't get Rogers at third, and the Eagles are within 1. What a job by Winter Morris. Wasn't the grand slam she had against Concord, but a productive at-bat to get Carson-Newman within 1 and still nobody out. It was a bang-bang play at third as Brooks will re-enter to pinch run, not pinch run, she'll just re-enter for Winter Morris as Morris is greeted by the Carson-Newman dugout. Bases loaded, nobody out, 3-2 ball game. The tying run on third for the Eagles. Sienna Cameron at the plate. She watches the first pitch outside and low for ball 1. And the count of ball and no strikes. Cameron 0 for 2. It's a rarity that you see that tally for Sienna Cameron through 2 at-bats as she slaps the next pitch foul. And the count is 1-1. Sienna Cameron, the senior of Alcoa, Tennessee, on an 11-game hit streak. As the next pitch home is outside. Check back to third on Rogers, not in time. Not to mention all 3, the last 3 games, the last game against Southern Wesley and the 2 against Newberry, have been 3-hit games for Sienna Cameron. It's a 2-1 home. It is a called strike on the outer edge, and the count is 2-2. Cameron has had 14 multi-hit efforts here in 2025. It's a 2-2 home to her. Misses low and outside. The count moves full at 3-2. Hitless today, but it's been a rarity that Sienna Cameron has not recorded a hit in a ballgame. Only twice this season, Cameron's been held hitless as she slaps the next pitch towards the Lincoln Memorial dugout. And we'll await the next offering from Hallie Grace Patton. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Sienna Cameron. As lefty slapper awaits, Brooks stands on first. Martin on second. Rogers a tying run on third. Next offering to Cameron. She watches it on the outside corner. A called strike 3. Didn't like it, but Patton paints the outer edge for her 4th strikeout and the first out here in the 4th. Big out for Hallie Grace Patton and the Lincoln Memorial defense, looking to do what Carson-Newman did. in the top of the first and strand the bases loaded. Still some work left to do with a dangerous Hayden Dye at the plate. First pitch home, Patton to Dye. She lifts it into right center. A run for Couvatier. She makes the play on the run, but the tying run's going to come in and score on a sacrifice fly for Hayden Dye. Now caught in between first and second as Brooks will race to second base and get into scoring position. 3 apiece on Hayden Dye's sacrifice fly. First time this ball game has been tied between the Eagles and the Rail Splitters, outside of obviously it being a scoreless ball game. Now the go-ahead run on third with 2 outs for Macaulay Bailey. Patton will step off, recycle through her signs. Big sequence in this ball game. The Eagles already with 2 in the bottom of the fourth to draw even. And now Bailey with a chance to give the Eagles the lead. First pitch home, Patton to Bailey is upstairs and outside for ball 1. Bailey with a home run in this ball game. Got the Eagles on the board in the first. Eagles strike with 2 here in the fourth. First time since the first Carson-Newman has scored as the next pitch catches the top of the zone. The count evens at a ball and a strike. Really nice response from Carson-Newman as Bailey awaits the next offering. Patton leans and deals home. The 1-1 is an off-speed pitch that misses downstairs, and the count's 2-1. Macaulay Bailey, the junior out of Cross Plains, Tennessee, hitting .353 on the season. Awaits a 2-1. Late swing and a miss, and the count evens at 2-2. Deuce is wild on the scoreboard. Carson-Newman with a chance to take the lead for the first time today with 2 outs in the frame. Patton looking to keep it a tie game. As she dips and deals a 2-2 pitch. It's downstairs. Good block by Reagan to hold it. Abby Martin at third. And Bailey holds up. Counts full. First base is unoccupied, so if you're Hallie Grace Patton, it's not the worst thing you could do if you were to walk Macaulay Bailey here on a 3-2 count. The payoff home. Bailey watches it, ball 4. Macaulay Bailey takes her base, and the bases are loaded again for Carson-Newman. Like Bailey stared down Hallie Grace Patton a little bit. One of the best hitters in the league and one of the best pitchers in the league, going toe-to-toe here at the Vic as Santana Anderson stands in with 2 down. She dribbles the next pitch towards short. Palmer scoops, throws to second in time for the 3rd out. So Carson-Newman strands the go-ahead run on third and strands the bases loaded, but the Eagles draw even with 2 in the fourth. It's 3-3 after 4 as we're tied for the first time. We head to the top of the 5th. It's a brand new ball game here on the Eagles Sports Network.
When you're sick and tired of fast food and need a fresh home-cooked meal, turn to Lisa's Country Kitchen. Lisa's been cooking up her fresh, never-frozen food for the Lakeway area for more than 15 years. Lisa's cares about her customers. You may enter a stranger, but you'll leave a friend. From foot-long hot dogs to juicy steaks, Lisa's has the best food for the best prices.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Serving East Tennessee for 40 years, Magaha Electric is the perfect choice for all your electrical projects. Magaha Electric specializes in commercial, retail, manufacturing, residential, and industrial contracting needs. Magaha Electric can provide superior service, technical know-how, and realistic budgeting for any size project in a timely, cost-effective manner. Visit MagahaElectric.com for all your electrical contracting needs. Magaha Electric, your East Tennessee electrical contracting source.
Back here on the Eagles Sports Network, it is a brand new contest between Carson-Newman and Lincoln Memorial right here on the Eagles Sports Network as Winter Morris rips an infield RBI single before Hayden Dye catches one in on a sac fly. And we are tied up. Top of the 5th on the way between Carson-Newman and Lincoln Memorial as Hannah McMean stands in the lead off the frame. First pitch from Sierra Rogers is upstairs and inside for ball 1. Ball and no strikes to McMean, who's had a couple nice plays defensively here in this contest. She's 0 for 1 at the plate. She awaits the next pitch from Rogers. It's pumped in for a strike, and the count evens at a ball and a strike. It's McMean, Couvetier, and Alyssa Williams due up for the Rail Splitters. Here in the top of the fifth, looking to regain the advantage. The Eagles able to tie it up in the bottom half of the fourth. First time the Eagles have scored since the first. As Rogers leans, the 1-1 home is a called strike, and the count is 1-2. Rogers has had herself a nice performance. It was a rocky start, loading the bases in the first, giving up 2 runs. But since straining the bases loaded, Rogers has held Lincoln Memorial in 2 of the last 3 frames. She's held them scoreless. The next pitch is fouled back, and the count remains 1-2. Not to mention, Rogers has left 7 Rail Splitters aboard. Carson-Newman's total has now matched that, leaving the bases loaded in the fourth, but did enough to tie the game. In the home half of the fourth inning, the 1-2 is popped up to shallow right. Dye racing back. She calls off Anderson and makes a play for out number 1. Good communication from Hayden Dye to call off Santana Anderson and make that play for the first out of the frame. That brings in Nicole Couvetier. She grounded into a fielder's choice. It's actually the first out of the ball game. Couvetier grounded out into a fielder's choice, and then Rogers got the next 2 on strikeout. She's also doubled in this contest, as the first pitch home is inside for ball 1. She doubled, moved to third, but again was stranded right there by Sierra Rogers, who's now through 4 1/3, allowed 6 hits, 3 earned runs. She's walked 2, she struck out 4, and just dealt her 95th pitch. The 1-0, well high, and Couvetier has to duck out of the way as count moves 2 balls and no strikes. A little time off here at the Vic. It's been a nice stretch for Carson-Newman here at home after the road trip to Shorter. Carson-Newman's won the last 4 here at home, 10-2 at the Vic this season. The 2-0 to Couvetier is a called strike, and the count's 2-1. Again, after the 2 games here at home today, Carson-Newman heads on a tough road trip to Wingate and to Anderson, back-to-back road trips for the Eagles before welcoming in in-state rival Tusculum. The 2-1. Couvetier watches it upstairs, and the count's 3-1. Alyssa Williams awaits on deck. Ryan Williams in the hole. For Lincoln Memorial, looking to strike back and take the lead. 1 away for Sierra Rogers in the Eagle defense as she deals the 3-1 home to Couvetier. High, towering fly ball to the right side. Lucero has room, and she makes the play, takes a tumble, but she records the out for out number 2. You could tell Lucero was trying to feel if she had enough room while also keeping her eye on the ball. Good multitasking effort for Lucero to record the second out. 2 up, 2 down for Sierra Rogers, looking for her 3rd straight scoreless frame to keep this game even at 3 and give Carson-Newman a chance to take its first lead. First pitch home to Alyssa Williams is a ball downstairs, and the count's 1-0. Rogers peeks at her wrist, re-engages with the slab, and fires home the 1-0 offering. It's on the inside corner for a called strike, and the count evens at 1-1. Base is empty for Lincoln Memorial. That's really been a rarity in this ball game. Lincoln Memorial's been able to get runners aboard, but nothing doing here in the top half of the 5th. The 1-1 inside, and the count moves 2 balls and a strike. Williams 1 for 2, a single and a strikeout and 2 at-bats. She looks to generate some 2-out momentum for Lincoln Memorial here in the top of the 5th inning. Rogers dips, deals the 2-1 home. It's downstairs and inside, ball 3. Hitters count for Alyssa Williams, 3 balls, 1 strike. Base is empty, though, for Lincoln Memorial with 2 down. And the bottom of the order, 7, 8, 9 is where we're at in the Lincoln Memorial order. 3rd trip through for the Rail Splitters here in this contest. As Rogers deals a 3-1, this one is lifted into right. Anderson giving chase, the track, the wall, and it's another home run for Lincoln Memorial. 2nd solo shot, which gives the Rail Splitters a lead back here in the 5th. first home run of the season for Alyssa Williams, just her third RBI, and it's a big one to give LMU the lead back in the top of the fifth. Actually, the Eagles checking at first for something to see if maybe Williams didn't touch first base, to no avail, as the run will stand. Lincoln Memorial's lead now 4-3. LMU back in front. When it seemed like Carson-Newman had seized the momentum, just a massive swing of the bat from Alyssa Williams. She hasn't been an everyday starter for Lincoln Memorial, but she comes up big right there as Ryan Williams takes the first pitch off the plate. Actually, a very delayed strike call, and the count is 0-1. Looked good from here, and it was. As Rogers looking to limit the damage to just one here in the fifth. Leans and fires a 0-1. Swing and a miss. Strike two. Lincoln Memorial back in front. First time the Rail Splitters have scored since the second. In the second, it was a solo home run from Gracie Palmer. As a 0-2 from Rogers. Misses downstairs to Williams. And the count's 1-2. All Lincoln Memorial runs have come on 3 hits out of the Rail Splitters' 7 knocks on the day. It was Jordan Reagan who started the scoring, a 2 RBI single. Gracie Palmer solo home run. Now Alyssa Williams, who leaves the yard in the fifth. The 1-2 misses downstairs. The count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Deuce is wild on the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. As Rogers now over 100 pitches at 108 on the afternoon. As she deals a 2-2. It's looped into left, and it'll drop down the left field line. Brooks able to cut it off. Ryan Williams racing to second. The throw is offline. It's a 2-out double for Ryan Williams. First hit of the day for Williams. Her last 2 at-bats ended in a strikeout. And she gets in the scoring position for Gracie Palmer. 2-out offense for Lincoln Memorial. And the Rail Splitters have an opportunity to take that 2-run lead right back. Palmer squares the bunt. She pulls back. Rogers' first pitch is skied behind the plate. Warder chasing back the backstop, and she'll watch it sail out of play. Nothing in 1 now. The count to Gracie Palmer, rounding out the third trip through the Lincoln Memorial order here in the fifth. As Rogers toes the slab, leans, fires home. This one is ripped into left center. It's going to drop for a base hit. It gets off the wall. Brooks cuts it off, but Williams will score. Back-to-back doubles for Lincoln Memorial. 3 straight extra base hits, and the lead is back to 2. It's 5-3. Williams and Palmer trade bases. Second extra base hit of the day for Gracie Palmer. And it's 5-3. LMU back to the top for Anna Kate Riester. She's reached all 3 times she's been at the plate. And she rips the next pitch up the middle, a base hit. Palmer rounds third, she'll score. Riester racing for second, and she's tagged out. A great throw from Sienna Cameron in center. Gets Riester at second, but the run came across, and it will count, I believe, as it's 6-3 Lincoln Memorial after 4.5. All 3 runs came with 2 outs. As we head to the bottom half of the fifth, Carson-Newman looks for an answer here on the Eagles Sports Network.
Domino's Pizza in Jefferson City has deals for Carson-Newman students. Bring in your valid student ID when you order for pickup or delivery, and Domino's in Jefferson City will give you a steaming hot large 1-topping pizza for $4.99. That's a large 1-topping pizza for Carson-Newman students for $4.99 at Domino's in Jeff City. Call 865-471-6700 to order. That's 865-471-6700. Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles.
Okay, let's see. I'm ready to do this. Carson-Newman. It's been around since 1851. Lots of flexible online programs. Wow. World-class accredited academics. A faith and learning environment environment with professors who really care about me. A top 10 best value school. Carson-Newman gives $48 million a year in financial aid. This is the perfect place. I'm in.
Back on the Eagle Sports Network, Carson-Newman trails by 3. Largest deficit of the day, even though Carson-Newman seemingly had the momentum. It's Mari Robbins to lead things off against Hallie Grace Patton. The pitch is in the turf for ball 1. 3 runs with 2 outs in the inning for Lincoln Memorial to regain the lead and build its largest lead of the day. The 1-0 is fouled off and the count moves 1-1. 2 doubles and a solo home run. And then Anna Kate Reisher single. She's thrown out at second, trying to go for 2. But nonetheless, LMU able to build an advantage. Hallie Grace Patton leaves the next pitch in the turf, and the count moves 2 balls and a strike. Eagles had the answer in the 4th, looking for the answer here again in the 5th. As Patton leans, fires a 2-1, swing and a miss downstairs. Strike 2. Michael Graves signals that third. That was likely ball 3 as Robbins cut at it downstairs. Count evens at 2-2 nonetheless. As Robbins awaits the next offering from Patton. She leans, fires home. Check swing. Strike 3. Robbins down on strikes for out number 1. 5th strikeout for Hallie Grace Patton. And there's one down for Brooklyn Lucero. Patton leans, fires home the first pitch to Lucero. It's downstairs for ball 1. Rogers awaits on deck. Martin in the hole for Carson-Newman here in the home half of the 5th. As Lucero chops it foul off the glove of, I don't even know if she got a piece of it. Nonetheless, count evens at a ball and a strike. Lucero 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out to third as she watches the off-speed pitch clip the bottom of the zone. And the count is 1-2. Patton pulled the string on that one. We've seen her go to that pitch quite frequently. Hasn't had all that much success, but that time she catches the bottom of the zone. She goes right back to it a little bit more downstairs, and the count is 2-2. Eagles with 8 outs to work with here in this contest to try and get back in this ball game, trailing by 3. Lucero fouls the next pitch off to the right side, and the count remains 2-2. The wind's certainly gusting here this afternoon. All the last 3 doubleheaders here, the wind has played a role. And LMU's had 2 home runs today, using that wind to its advantage. Lucero underneath the next pitch. She pops it behind the plate, but it goes out of play. And the count remains 2-2. Like Lucero was ready for that off-speed pitch. She was just a little out in front. She's able to poke it foul. As Patton will swap balls and get ready to deal the next 2-2 to Brooklyn Lucero. The righty toes the slab, looks home. The 2-2 to Lucero. Downstairs ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Bases empty for the Eagles here in the home half of the 5th, trailing by 3 after Lincoln Memorial, largest output of the inning in the top of the 5th. Lucero grounds the next pitch up the middle for a base hit, and she's aboard with her second single of the day. That'll bring in Sierra Rogers again. Lincoln Memorial, the largest output in any inning for either side in this ball game with 3 in the 5th. Lucero gives Carson-Newman a 1-out base runner for Sierra Rogers. As Patton leans, fires home to Rogers. She lifts it to left center. Going back, Reisher, the track, the wall, and Sierra Rogers has done it again. It's 6-5 as Rogers exits the yard for the 4th time this season, and she continues to do it all for Carson-Newman. That one kept on carrying. Again, the wind playing a little bit of a role here this afternoon. Rogers gets it out of the yard, and Carson-Newman has the answer. It's 6-5 as Patton chats with her infield and her catcher, Jordan Reagan. And Carson-Newman, again, has a response. We'll see if the Eagles are able to get back even or take the lead here in the home half of the fifth. Michael Graves talking about last time out against Newberry with Rogers' grand slam. He's not going to have to ask her to swing the bat. She knows what she's got to do in the box, and she does it right there as Martin takes the first pitch strike on the inner edge, and the count is 0-1. Next pitch home to Martin. Patton pulls the string on a pitch that catches the inner edge, and the count is 0-2. Martin, the tying run to the dish, but the base is empty for the Eagles with one down. Next pitch runs upstairs, and the count is 1-2. Trinity Brooks on deck. She was pinch hit for last time for Winter Morse, who came in and got the RBI single as the 1-2 home. It's high and outside, count even to 2-2. 2 runs here in the fifth for Carson-Newman. The Eagles have scored 2 in each of the last 2 frames. 2 in the fourth, tied the game up at the time as Martin rips the next pitch to second. Williams right there to snare the line drive for out number 2. It was that off-speed pitch again out of the hand of Patton. Martin waited back just enough, but it was right to Williams. And there's 2 down for Trinity Brooks. Patton toes the slab, leans, fires home to Brooks. It's fouled off. The count is 0-1. Top of the order awaits Sienna Cameron, who, again, has only been held hitless in 2 games. 0 for 3 here in this game. Waiting on deck with Hayden Dye in the hole. Tied the game up on a sacrifice fly. A 0-1 to Brooks. She lifts it high left side. Foul into the Lincoln Memorial batting cage. And the count 0-2. Check back in on Carson in baseball here in a little bit. The Eagles, last we checked, down 13-4. As Patton Aline steals the 0-2 to Brooks, she slaps the left side foul. And the count remains 0-2. 15-5, Florida Southern over Carson-Newman in the top of the 8th. As Carson-Newman will likely drop the second game of that 3-game set with the Mocs. Another game to come later this afternoon. The 0-2 home to Brooks. Pokes it left side to Palmer. Scoops, throw to first, not in time, and the ball gets away. Brooks will stay put. It's going to be an infield single as she gets her second infield single of the day. Palmer looked like slipped up a little bit when she gathered, and can't do that with Trinity Brooks racing down the first baseline. That'll bring in Sienna Cameron with a tying run aboard. It's just a matter of time with Sienna in this ball game. 0 for 3 so far. She awaits the first offer from Hallie Grace Patton. The pitch home. Cameron slaps it left side, and it's through for a base hit. Right on cue, Sienna Cameron gets her first knock, and now it's first and second for Carson-Newman with 2 away. It was just a matter of time that Sienna Cameron broke through. She gets her first hit of the day and extends the 11-game hitting streak to 12. Here's Hayden Dye. A tying run on second. First pitch to Hayden is a call and strike on the inner edge, and the count 0-1. Dye tied the game on a sacrifice fly. She's 1 for 2 today, and coming off that incredible week where she went 11-14. SAC Player of the Week, TSWA Player of the Week awaits the 0-1 offering that misses low, and the count evens at a ball and a strike. Here in these last couple innings, it was a stalemate for a little while, with Sierra Rogers and Hallie Grace Patton dealing back-to-back scoreless frames, but the offense has came out and about in the last couple innings. As Dye takes inside for a ball, and the count's 2-1. 6-5 your score, 21 combined hits between the two sides as the 2-1 is fouled off the siding of the press box, and the count moves 2-2. 11 hits for the Eagles, 10 hits for Lincoln Memorial. And the difference right now is a solo home run in the top of the 5th for the Rail Splitters. It's a 2-2 to Dye. Off-speed pitch misses downstairs. Brooks takes off as soon as she sees it ricochet, and she takes third base. Cameron stays put. Runners at the corners now. And a full count to Hayden Dye. Stolen base for Trinity Brooks. She saw it in the turf and took off as Patton fires home the payoff. Dye loops it right side, a foul ball. And the count remains full at 3-2. Tying run on third for the Eagles. Go-ahead run on first here in the bottom of the fifth. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Patton leans, fires. Dye grounds it up the middle to Palmer at short. Throw to first is in time for out number 3. Hallie Grace Patton strands a tying run on third, but the Eagles get back within 1 on Sierra Rogers' 4th home run of the year. It's 6-5 after 5. We'll be back with the top of the 6th here on the Eagle Sports Network.
This is Carson-Newman men's basketball alum Taylor Hawkins. I want to help your family secure its financial future. I'm with Modern Woodman Financial Planning, where we touch lives and secure futures. Let Modern Woodman protect your family's financial security through life insurance, retirement planning, and financial services. You can contact me, Taylor Hawkins, at cneagles.com/Modern Woodman. That's cneagles.com/Modern Woodman. Help secure your family's financial future through Modern Woodman Financial Planning.
The number one source for Carson-Newman athletics gear is shopcneagles.com, where you can find gear from Adidas, Columbia, Nike, and Under Armour. Shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, shorts, pants, hats, and scarves. Shopcneagles.com is your source for everything CN. You can even show your school spirit on your smartphone or tablet. All of your game day essentials can be found in one place. ShopCneagles.com.
Back on the Eagles Sports Network, Carson-Newman has answered again. Back within 1 as Sierra Rogers back in the circle, deals the first pitch low to Kristen Griffin, who leads off the top of the 6th, and the count of ball and no strikes. Exactly what we expected coming into this one, a high-quality contest between 2 of the hotter teams in the South Atlantic Conference. The 1-0 to Griffin catches the inside corner, and the count moves 1-1. It was Lincoln Memorial to jump out to the early lead, but that was a big part in this ballgame where Sierra Rogers stranded the bases loaded after loading them with nobody out to keep it a 2-0 ballgame. It's a 1-1 to Griffin. It is swung on and missed. Strike 2. Rogers since then has been really solid. She's limited the damage. She's tiptoed out of tight situations. And despite LMU having the lead, Sierra Rogers has done a good job to keep Carson-Newman in this ballgame. The 1-2 home to Griffin, fouled off the right side. The count remains 1-2. Carson-Newman has yet to take the lead in this contest, but the Eagles have drawn even once. After the bottom of the 4th, it was 3-3. 3 runs in the top half of the 5th where Lincoln Memorial regained the lead for LMU. It was 6-3 after 4.5, but a 2-run home run from Rogers brought the deficit back to just 1. The 1-2 home to Griffin. Swing and a miss. Warder comes up throwing on a drop third strike, and she gets Griffin in time as Rogers gets her 5th punch out. There's 1 down. Hannah Bogoski will stand in with 1 away, and the base is empty. Be a huge time to throw up a goose egg here in the top of the 6th and let the offense get back to work with just a 1-run deficit. As Rogers leans, fires home the first pitch to Bogoski. A called strike on the inner half, and the count 0-1. Again, stick around. We'll take about a 20 to 30 minute break in between games as the 2 teams prepare to play the second here at the Vic, and hopefully it holds all the excitement of this contest. A 0-1 to Bogoski. Rope back to the mound. Rogers knocks it down, throws to first in time for the 2nd out. In a blink of an eye, Rogers able to smother that line drive off the bat of Bogoski, and she takes care of it for out number 2. Oh my, what a play. Sierra Rogers, lightning quick reaction in the circle. And the bases remain empty for Jordan Reagan.
At the plate, catcher number 11, Jordan Reagan.
Rogers ready to deal the first pitch to Reagan. She fires home at the top of the zone for a called strike. 0-1. The count to Reagan. Again, all 3 runs in the 5th came with 2 outs. So we'll see if Lincoln Memorial has a punch here in the 6th to try and put away the Eagles with 6 outs left to work with. The pitch home is outside, and the count evens at 1-1. Hannah McMean is on deck in the hole. Nicole Couvetier for the Rail Splitters. Under head coach Richie Richardson, a good start, 17-6. And a deserved ranking, 23rd in the recent D2 NFCA softball poll. Next pitch just misses inside, and the count moves 2 balls and a strike. I'm hesitant to call it a pitcher's duel because there's been 11 combined runs between the 2 teams, but both Rogers and Patton have been excellent for their respective teams as the next pitch misses up high. And the count moves 3-1. Both teams have had that bend but don't break mentality as the 2 have combined to strand a total of 16 runners aboard. LMU's stranded 7. Carson-Newman has left 9 aboard as a 3-1 home from Rogers is downstairs, ball 4. Third walk of the day for Rogers gives Lincoln Memorial a 2-out base runner. We saw what the Rail Splitters were able to do with that in the 5th. And now a 2-out walk puts Reagan aboard first for Hannah McMean. Richie Richardson having a conversation with the home plate umpire. It looks like a pinch runner here for Jordan Reagan. Waits to the back of the jersey here to tell you who it is. It's going to be Cassidy Hack to come in and pinch run for the Rail Splitters. A little bit more speed on the base paths. So McMean stands in. Runner on first, 2 away. Lincoln Memorial looking for some breathing room here in the 6th. LMU has been able to take multi-run leads in the 2nd, the 5th. Looking to do so again here in the 6th as the pitch is downstairs for ball 1. It's been a common trend for Carson-Newman here in this middle part of the season. Go back to that Southern Wesleyan game. The Warriors were able to take multi-run advantages in that ball game. The Eagles had an answer as a 1-0 is a called strike, and the count evens at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 away. Sierra Rogers looking to strand a runner on first. As a 1-1 pitch home is fouled back, and the count's 1-2. Interesting trend that's developed here in the last 4 doubleheaders for Carson-Newman, actually 3. First game has been a run rule win, 19-0 over Shorter in game 1, 7-1 win in game 2. Still a quality win, but didn't do it in run rule fashion. Then 11-2 over Southern Wesleyan in 5, then the 18-17 game 2 before 11-3 over Newberry, 13-9 in game 2. As the 1-2 is outside, the count evens at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Rogers looking for that 3rd out to get Carson-Newman back to the plate, trailing by just 1. The 2-2 inside, ball 3. Didn't miss by much, just a little bit hugging the plate there was Rogers. As McMean looking to reach here with 2 down. Huge pitch up coming from Sierra Rogers. The 3-2 home is dribbled left side foul as McMean able to stay alive. Scoreboard's full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody in scoring position, but again, Lincoln Memorial in the 5th did all of its damage. The solo home run and the consecutive doubles gave Lincoln Memorial that 3-run 5th. As Rogers looks for her 3rd goose egg of the contest. The next payoff is a line right side, a foul ball outside of the outstretched glove of Brooklyn Lucero. And the count remains full. Both teams imploring their respective players to try and get the job done here as Rogers leans, fires home the payoff. It's downstairs. Ball 4. Back-to-back walks for Lincoln Memorial on the 130th pitch from Sierra Rogers. Puts McMean aboard first, Reagan to second, and an insurance run standing in scoring position for Lincoln Memorial. Nicole Couvatier with a chance to push the LMU lead back to multiple runs. This is the first pitch home from Rogers. Skied high to shallow center. Cameron charging in, and she makes the play for out number 3. No two-out rally for Lincoln Memorial in the 6th. We head to the bottom half. It's 6-5 Rail Splitters. Eagles look to respond right here on the Eagles Sports Network.
Tri-Light is proud to support Carson-Newman Athletics. We salute the student athletes who are working hard to make great things happen on the field, in the classroom, and in the world. It takes vision, commitment, and teamwork, qualities we share at Tri-Light. Our mission is to provide life-changing opportunities by building a world-class fiber broadband network. If you'd like to learn more, please visit trilight.net or call us at 833-847-0824.
We select our insurance companies the same way you do, very carefully. When you work with us, you can count on receiving fast, courteous, and professional service and quality protection through Auto Owners Insurance. For a no-problem approach for your life, home, car, and business insurance needs, ask us about the No Problem Company, Auto Owners Insurance. Call Bible Insurance Agency at 423-586-4320 or go by 1600 East Andrew Johnson Highway in Morristown, serving the Lakeway area's insurance needs since 1931.
Back here for the bottom half of the 6th, Carson-Newman trails by just 1 in a back-and-forth contest. Again, Carson-Newman has never had the lead, but it's never felt out of reach for the Eagles, and that's much thanks to Sierra Rogers' ability to limit the damage in this contest. Again, LMU's had its opportunities to blow this game open, but Carson-Newman, Sierra Rogers has not allowed that to happen. And the offense has done enough to stay in this contest, trailing by just 1. 5 runs on 11 hits. 9 runners left on base for each side, as Macaulay Bailey will lead off Carson-Newman's half of the 6th. First pitch home, Patton to Macaulay's downstairs for ball 1. The numbers stick out here in this contest with runners in scoring position. Lincoln Memorial 4 of 14. Carson-Newman just 1 of 6. But the two teams have been solid with 2 outs. Eagles hitting 6 of 11 with 2 outs. As the 1-0 to Bailey is upstairs for ball 2. Lincoln Memorial 4 of 9 with 2 outs. All 4 hits came in that 3-run top half of the 5th. 2 balls, no strikes to Macaulay Bailey to lead off the home half of the 6th. She takes the next pitch across the heart of the plate for a called strike. And the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Patton leans, fires home the 2-1 to Macaulay Bailey. It's the off-speed pitch that misses downstairs, ball 3. Again, 2 of the better players in each category facing off here. Patton's had a great year in the circle. Macaulay Bailey has hit 8 home runs, top 10 in the country, as she takes the 3-1 for a called strike, and the count is 3-2. Bailey won the last battle. She took a base and stared down Patton a little bit while she trotted to first. Now here in a 3-2 count awaits the payoff pitch. 3-2 home is upstairs, ball 4. Macaulay Bailey works her second walk of the ball game, and she's aboard for Santana Anderson. 4th time Bailey has reached, as it looks like Michael Graves might pinch run for her. The tying run aboard for Carson-Newman with nobody out in the 6th. What an exciting contest this has been between Carson-Newman, who's won 6 straight, Lincoln Memorial winners 6 of its last 7. And it's lived up to the billing, as Bailey will be pinch run for. It'll be Elena Smith to enter. First time Smith has seen any game action this season. And she'll pinch run for Bailey. With the go-ahead run at the plate, the tying run aboard. First pitch home to Anderson, grounded up the middle, a base hit. Smith goes station to station. Anderson aboard with her second hit, and the tying run is in scoring position. The first two reach in the sixth for Carson-Newman. And it'll be Kennedy Warder to step to the plate. First cuts of the day for Warder in a big spot with the tying run in scoring position and the go-ahead run aboard. First pitch home to Kennedy. She squares the bunt, pulls back on a pitch that's downstairs, and the count of ball and no strikes. Carson-Newman angling for its first lead in this ball game. Looking to tie it for the second time with Smith on second. And the go-ahead run in Anderson on first. Warder lays down a great bunt to third. Covering first, it gets away. Smith comes home to score. Anderson pulls up at third, and we're tied at 6. The ball nicked off the glove of Williams on a wonderful bunt from Kennedy Warder. Williams just a little too late covering the first base bag. Smith scores from second. Anderson goes first to third, and the go-ahead run one bag away for Brooklyn Lucero. First pitch home to Brooklyn. She watches it for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. The next pitch home to Brooklyn. Downstairs. Count evens at 1-1. So the throw was online. Williams not able to secure it on the sacrifice bunt for Kennedy Warder. As Elena Smith scored, as Lucero ropes the next pitch, left side, foul down the right field line. The count is the ball and 2 strikes. Lucero looking to give Carson-Newman the lead for the first time today. As the next pitch home, she's a little ahead of it, and she smokes it right over the head of Michael Graves, who he's used to it at this point. He has the reactions down to a T as he avoids getting clobbered by that foul ball at the bat of Brooklyn Lucero. Count remains 1-2. Next pitch home, she fouls it off again as Patton tried to go to the fastball, catch Lucero asleep at the wheel, couldn't do so. And good fight from Brooklyn Lucero, knowing the importance of this at-bat. Got 3 outs to work with to try and take the lead for the first time here in the bottom of the 6th. The next one, too. Off-speed pitch. Lucero crushes it to left. It's gone. Brooklyn Lucero gives Carson-Newman the lead on her second home run of the year. It's 9-6. She waited just long enough on that off-speed pitch, and she crushes it out of the Vic. Carson-Newman in a 4-run 6th has taken a 9-6 lead. What a turn in events here in this ball game. Carson-Newman trailed 6-3 in the top of the 5th. You thought maybe that would be enough for Lincoln Memorial, but the Eagles have ripped off the last 6 runs to take a 3-run lead. Here comes Richie Richardson to chat with his pitcher. See a Lincoln Memorial arm getting warmed up. Again, Patton's had 12 complete games. All 12 of her wins have been in complete game efforts. She's in position for only her second loss of the season, as Carson-Newman's offense, who has been absolutely phenomenal lately, with all 4 of its last 4 contests here in the month of March, have been double-digit scoring efforts. 1 run away from improving that streak. Not even that, 5 of its last 6 have been in double digits, dating back to that 19-run performance against Shortergan. The Eagles have vaulted into the top part of the country in basically every offensive statistic. The offense has come alive for Michael Graves. He knew it would be there. It was just a matter of time. And the offense has really produced. Brooklyn Lucero's second home run of the season is a 3-run shot to give Carson-Newman the 9-6 lead. As we're seeing an extended discussion here with Richie Richardson, his infield, his pitcher, and his catcher here, Jordan Reagan, as he wraps up the chat and will face Sierra Rogers. Third hit of the day for Lucero, and it is a massive go-ahead 3-run home run for Carson-Newman. Here's Rogers. She's homer today. First pitch home to her is upstairs and outside for ball one. 13th hit of the contest for Carson-Newman. It's the one that gives the Eagles the lead for the first time here late in this ball game. The 1-0 to Rogers misses high and outside. Ball two. Eagles proving what they can do against one of the conference's best arms here today. It's a 2-0 to Rogers. She lifts it to left, tailing down the left field line, but it goes foul. Rogers just mere feet away from her second home run of the day. But she'll trot back to the box and face a 2-1 offering from Hallie Grace Patton. The 2-1 home to Rogers. Upstairs, outside, ball three. 3-1 the count to Sierra Rogers. She flew out to second, walked, hit a home run, and she's in a hitter's count here. 3-1, called strike, and it's 3-2. Eagles looking to put this one away in the bottom of the sixth. Well, 3 outs to work with to add on to a 4-run sixth. As a payoff pitch home to Rogers, she swings and misses. Strike 3. Big first out for Hallie Grace Patton in the Lincoln Memorial defense, as Abby Martin will stand in with the bases empty and one away. We've seen the Eagles, who trail by 3 today, have an answer and respond. Lincoln Memorial trails by 3 as Patton looks to limit the damage to just that here in the 6th. First pitch home to Abby Martin is too high, and the count's a ball and no strikes. Brooklyn Lucero homer for the first time since the opening weekend against Concord, as the pitch is a called strike and the count evens at 1-1. The power is certainly there for Brooklyn. Took a little while to get going last year. She's hit the ball well. She hit .368 in conference play last year en route to a preseason second-team All-SAC selection. As the 1-1 pitch misses high and the count moves 2-1. Pitch home to Martin. She corkscrews it right side of foul ball, and the count is 2-2. Hallie Grace Patton will swap out the softball here, I believe, with home plate umpire this afternoon. 9-6 your score. Carson-Newman scored the last 6 after trailing 6-3 after the top of the 5th. Long low cone by Patton. She deals a 2-2 home to Martin, who watches it outside. Ball 3. Martin with 1 hit today. She's also walked in 2 at-bats. She's on a 3-game hitting streak, and she loops it left side. Gets off the chest of Williams. She bobbles it, and it gets away. Abby Martin racing to second, and she dives in safely on the second error of the inning from Melissa Williams. Martin, an insurance run, now in scoring position on the error by Alyssa Williams. Carson-Newman with Abby Martin on second can extend its double-digit scoring streak to 5 games against Hallie Grace Patton, who coming into today had an ERA just barely above 1. First pitch to Brooks is a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Patton leans, fires home the 0-1 pitch. It's high and outside, and the count evens at 1-1. Still just 1 out for the Carson-Newman offense, and the top of the order awaiting on deck as Patton fires it home. Misses off the plate. Ball 2. Trinity Brooks, the sophomore to Jackson, Tennessee. Hitting .316 this season. It's a 1-1 home. Brooks slaps it back towards the circle. Patton fields throw to first in time for the second out as Martin races to third, and there's 2 away. Sienna Cameron extended her hitting streak to 12 games with her first knock of the afternoon just an inning ago. She waits the first pitch from Patton, slaps it down the left field line, a fair ball. Martin scores, Cameron racing for second, and she'll pull up right there with a 2-out RBI double. It's 10-6, Carson-Newman, the double-digit scoring streak, now at 5 games for this offense, and Carson-Newman's lead is 4. Carson-Newman has turned a 3-run deficit into a 4-run lead in the 5th and the 6th, scoring 2 in the 5th, now 5 here in the 6th. As Hallie Grace Patton chatting with her catcher Jordan Reagan, and I believe we'll see a new arm enter the contest. Hallie Grace Patton will exit after 5 2/3 of work, 14 hits, 8 earned runs the Eagles have generated off Lincoln Memorial's top arm. We'll talk about the new pitcher on the other side. Carson-Newman leads by 4 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th here on the Eagles Sports Network.
How do you know you're in a community, not just a town? Well, strangers smile as they walk by. They refill your coffee without you asking. And when you ask directions, people offer to walk you there. Communities give more. The way you know when you walk into First Bank that you are in a real community bank. Great products, direct access to your local bankers, and relationships that can last a lifetime. Don't just have an account. Have a community with First Bank. Member FDIC.
At InterDigital, we strive to be a leading provider of cutting-edge digital and marketing solutions. At InterDigital, we want to help our clients find success. Our team of technology gurus work together to ensure InterDigital continues to progress forward as technology advances. At InterDigital, we make technology work for you. Visit interdigital.com for IT support, web development, virtual tours, graphic design, internet marketing, mobile app, and film production services.
InterDigital, laser focused on your success.
Bottom 6, Carson-Newman has flipped this game on its head. It's 10-6 as Aslan Lupton comes in to pitch for Hallie Grace Patton. Deals a first pitch to Hayden Dice. She skies right side out of play. And the count is 0-1. 5 runs in the 6th for Carson-Newman. A 3-run home run for Brooklyn Lucero. An RBI double for Sienna Cameron after a Kennedy Warder bunt tied the game.
Don't know what to wear.
Pitch is swung on a miss by Dye, and the count 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Sienna Cameron on second for the Eagles. Look to add on to a 5-run 6th. Lupton dips, fires a 0-2. Dye ropes it into left, and it drops for a base hit. Griffin scoops, she'll throw as Cameron rounds third. The throw is cut off, and it's 11-6 Eagles. Another 2-out RBI hit for Carson-Newman as Dye scores Cameron from second, and now Macaulay Bailey will have a chance with 2 down. Bailey led off the inning for the Eagles with a walk. She's back up for the second time this frame as she dribbles the first pitch left side. It squeaks through. Macaulay Bailey aboard again with a 2-out single as Hayden Dye moves to second. Six runs already here in the 6th. 2 outs as Lupton looks to get Lincoln Memorial back to the plate with a last-ditch effort, down 5. As she fires the first pitch to Anderson, she fouls it back, and the count is 0-1. The relentless effort from this Carson-Newman offense didn't have it going at the beginning. Scored 1 run in the first, 2 straight scoreless in the second and third, but the stick-to-itiveness in this contest has been very apparent as it's swung on a miss by Anderson, and the count is 0-2. After those 2 scoreless frames in the second and third, Carson-Newman scored 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, and 6th in the 6th. 0-2 the count to Anderson. As Lupton leans, fires home, it's downstairs, and the count is 1-2. Anderson looking to keep the line moving After 3 straight hits from Carson-Newman, the RBI double by Cameron, the RBI single by Dunn, and the single from Bailey as Anderson pops the next pitch high in the sky to the shallow infield. Palmer charging in, and she makes the play for out number 3. But Carson-Newman, 6 runs in the bottom of the 6th, and the Eagles will look to close it out on the other side. How this game has turned on its head as the Eagles lead 11-6 after 6 right here on the Eagles Sports Network.
Sure, we've been around a while, 171 years to be exact. We know the power of a liberal arts-based Christian education and the tremendous potential of what can be found on this campus, within this community. We are adventurers, dreamers, believers, passionate and compassionate, curious and clever, driven by a common purpose towards a common goal.
I found my passion.
I found purpose.
We are Carson-Newman.
What will you find?
Domino's Pizza in Jefferson City and Morristown wants to help feed your business. When you're hungry at lunch, show your business card at Domino's in Jefferson City and Morristown when you make your purchase for pickup or delivery to get 25% off the entire order. That's 25% off your order at Domino's in Jeff City and Morristown when you show your business card. Call 865-471-6700 to get a pizza. Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles.
Back on the Eagles Sports Network, Carson-Newman needs 3 outs to secure a victory over Lincoln Memorial in a game that seemed to be going the way of the Rail Splitters. That has changed after a 6-run bottom of the 6th. Ryan Wilkes with you here on the Eagles Sports Network as Carson-Newman looks to end things. Sierra Rogers looks for another complete game performance. 133 pitches for her as she'll face off with Alyssa Williams to start the top of the 7th. First pitch home is a called strike, and the count 0-1.
There's something about a small...
No balls and a strike. As Rogers leans, fires home. Next pitch across the heart of the plate. Strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. Bases empty. Nobody out for Alyssa Williams. 7-8-9 due up for the Rail Splitters. The 0-2 just missed, and the count's 1-2. Rogers, who faced some adversity here in this contest, a couple favorable situations for Lincoln Memorial. She's been able to have the stick-to-itiveness to not allow this game to get out of hand. The offense has responded as the next pitch is upstairs and outside. The count evens at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bases empty, nobody out. As Rogers leans, fires a 2-2 home. It's fouled to the glove of Warder. Strike 3. LMU down to its last 2 outs as Rogers pumps her 6th strikeout. Here's Ryan Williams. The base is empty. And 1 down. First pitch home is downstairs for ball 1. Eagles down 1 entering the 6th. Got 6 runs. Brooklyn Lucero accounted for 3 of them on her second home run of the year. A 3-run shot to give Carson-Newman the lead. The 1-0 catches the upper outside corner, and the count evens at 1-1. Gracie Palmer, she's homered in this ballgame and ripped an RBI double, stands on deck. At the top of the order, and Anna Kate Reister awaiting. The 1-1 home. Popped foul the left side. Bailey has space, and she'll make the grab for out number 2. Lincoln Memorial down to its final out as Sierra Rogers, now 141 pitches, looks to end it. Not a bad day offensively for LMU. 6 runs on 10 hits, but there's 9 runners left aboard. Is a crooked number in this line. As a first pitch home to Reisher, downstairs for ball 1. It's Palmer in the box. Reisher's on deck. For Lincoln Memorial, looking to extend the ball game. Down by 5. LMU has had success with 2 outs in this ball game. That 3-run fifth all came with 2 outs. As Rogers toes the slab. Fires home the 1-0. Palmer watches it down low, ball 2. We'll play another. Hopefully it's just as exciting as this one, coming out on about 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one right here on the Eagle Sports Network. Hope you decide to tag along for the nightcap. That's a 2-0 home from Rogers. Palmer watches it at the top of the zone for a called strike. Lincoln Memorial down to its final 2 strikes in its first game as a ranked team in the NFCA Division II softball poll. Carson-Newman looking like it's trying to prove its spot in that rankings too. The 2-1 home is fouled back in the count 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Base is empty for Lincoln Memorial in the top half of the 7th. Rogers takes a look home. Leans, fires a 2-2, fouled off. And the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rogers looking for another complete game. Looking for her 5th and her 9th start of the season. And to improve her record to 7-2. She's really come on strong as of late. Looking to round out another really nice performance today. The 2-2 just missed. And the count moves full. Just a hair off the plate from Rogers. And now a full count for Gracie Palmer. The payoff. Looped down the left field line of foul right near the fan sitting on the top of the hill on the left side of the Vic, and the count remains full up 3-2. 11 runs on 16 hits for the Carson-Newman offense. Rewarding Sierra Rogers for her efforts in the circle to keep this game within reach. The Eagles trailed for most of it. As the next payoff home, Palmer swings and misses. Strike 3. Sierra Rogers ends the game on her 7th strikeout, and what a performance from Carson-Newman. The Eagles use a 6-run 6th to take a 5-run lead, and the final tally is Carson-Newman 11, Lincoln Memorial 6. The Eagles get the win over the ranked in-state foe, move to 3-0 in Southland Conference play. Lincoln Memorial falls to 1-2. We'll play another here in just a little bit as the Eagles and the Rail Splitters take about 20 to 30 minutes. And we'll be back on air for the nightcap here at the Vic, right here on the Eagle Sports Network.